What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Retro Hoop Collectibles. I wanted to make a quick video just because this is kind of a topic that I was just messaging with somebody about this. And I just got finished doing the video on 93, 94 Fleer Ultra, which if you haven't got a chance to check that out, please check it out. Where I made some comments about the cards being very condition sensitive. And it kind of brought back this idea that I've mentioned several times on different other videos and in talking to other people and stuff like that, how we have to stop doing this one thing as a hobby, because I think that it continues to perpetuate laziness from the grading companies. So what am I talking about? One of the things that I've heard a lot, especially during the pandemic and things like that, as people were getting their cards back from PSA, from SGC, from BGS, wherever they were getting them from, and it's this term that a card is hard to grade. And I think that is completely wrong. There is never a card that is hard to grade. Companies, whether it's SGC, PSA, BGS, CSG, HGA, all the top grading companies that are out there, if you go on their respective websites, they have criteria by which they're going to assign grades to the cards that you have submitted. The idea being that you can go onto the website and within reasonable measure, look at the criteria that they have set forth, make a decision or a call on your own condition of your own cards, and decide if you're okay with that grade. And, if there's a crease in it, does it take it from a 8 to a 4? What is a 4? What is a 7? So there's a bunch of different variables, right, that go into it. And the thing about it is that every grading company is different. Every grading company has a different standard that they go by. And it's up to you, it's up to us to decide whose standard we agree with the most, and then go with that company. And because you like the way that they grade, you like their philosophy behind how they're assigning grades to cards. And so one of the main reasons why I like SGC so much is because they take into really high consideration the overall display value, the I forget what they call it, the eye appeal is what they call it. So there may be some things wrong with the card, but what's the eye appeal look like overall? And that typically applies more towards vintage cards, which is why SGC is such a high name in the vintage market as far as grading is concerned, because they do consider all these things. But I also feel like that idea, it can be applied to modern and ultra modern cards, right? And so the idea that we keep saying that, this card got an 8 because it's hard to grade. No, your card got an 8 because hopefully the criteria that's set forth by the grading company that you sent it to matches that of the condition of your card, and it was given an 8 because of that. And I just never liked the idea of this concept that I never liked the concept of, a card is hard to grade, because I always felt like saying it that way and thinking about it that way gave grading companies, and I'm not just talking about PSA, I'm talking about SGC, I'm talking about all of them. It always gave grading companies an out whenever they got it wrong. If a card is very condition sensitive, right? If it's made out of very thin cardboard, if it's very heavy foil printed on the front, the foiling on the card, then all of that should come into consideration when they're giving the grade. And it shouldn't really have much, it shouldn't make the card harder to grade. The grading should be easy. It's based on a set of criteria. And sure, there's some human element in there, and there's some opinion in there if, you're using a company that's not completely AI. I would imagine Tag would be a really tough company to send something to that's condition sensitive, or maybe has flaws within the entirety of the line or the product or whatever that's just well known among the community. But it doesn't necessarily make the card any harder to grade. You have a card, you have criteria, you measure it up against the criteria. I've always felt like that was a really interesting concept. And I never understood the basis behind it because it didn't make any sense to me. So yeah, I'm curious to hear any opinions out there or any other points out there that would make that statement a little more palatable, I guess. What would make a card hard to grade? Because I can't think of anything. I think it's really in the hands of the grading companies to establish their criteria and to give the grades accordingly. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This is something that I've struggled with for a while. And something that I just figured would go away as the popularity of, as we came out of the pandemic craze that we went through. But I still hear it. It's still a very prevalent saying. And I'd like to think that whoever's left in the hobby now, post-pandemic, are people who just got here through the pandemic, but have stayed because they're truly passionate and they maybe have revived some love for the hobby. And then the people that have just been here for years. But let me know what you guys think. I really want to open up a discussion about this because I don't think that we should be thinking about it that way. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. We got a lot of stuff coming out this week. So stay tuned. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get some momentum on doing some more videos and getting subscribers and getting the word out. Probably doing a lot more stuff. Torture test coming soon. We're going to start individually with individual grading companies doing individual tests. One of the reasons why it's taken me so long to do the torture test is because I had it in my head that I wanted to do them all at the same time. And I think it's going to be a little bit better if I test individual things for individual companies and release those videos accordingly. So stay tuned for that. Again, a good reason to subscribe if you want to keep up with that. Hit the notification bells. Hit the like button if you like this video. Check me out on Instagram, Retro Hoop Breaks. Love you guys. Peace.